were to give a brief of what we saw yesterday. So we were seeing all the concepts with respect to SQL, the way of how to query a database, and then we talked about creating tables and the corresponding SQL commands, how it works, and then we talked about schemas, the user schemas, how generally logical separation would be there. Okay, I would prefer you guys to have you guys on mute. I'm just making you muted. Okay, let me just make everyone. To, okay, all right. Okay, so that's what we were seeing yesterday, and then we talked about the SQL languages and the commands which we have, the DDL commands, and the DML and the data control language commands. We were seeing all this stuffs on the yesterday. I was going through the chat. I see quite a few of people have asked me to explain back again on the difference between char and varchar. So I think I interpreted a little different yesterday. So might be I'll just go over today as well, so that from there I'll explain quickly the difference between char and varchar again. Uh, and then we will talk about, so this is the plan which I have for today. So we'll have some more queries, okay, SQL queries. Like what we saw yesterday was very primary in order to create, just to insert. So we are going to do some select, we are going to see some more what to say, some more functionalities in terms of select, like how to filter the data and all those stuffs we'll see today. And then we'll see about aggregation. Okay, like we didn't see any aggregation concept, like some count max or anything like that. We didn't see anything about that, so we will check that as well. And then we will plan to have the joins as well, join concept. And then yesterday, if you remember correctly, I inserted data into the table, but I didn't have any. Okay, to Kriba, yes, I'm. Everyone is able to hear me, I think. Can you please check from your end? It looks like there's Kriba who's not able to hear me. Okay, so might be so joins and there, and then yesterday, if you remember, I inserted a couple of records which were duplicated. So if Oracle does not want to duplicate, we might we need to insert something called constraints. So we will see about that today. More of, and then we'll have some hands-on from you people, like you guys can give a try on these types of queries, and then we can take it forward. That's a plan which I have for today. I hope it's good with everyone. All right. All right. So let's get started. So typically, char and varchar. Okay, and varchar. Okay, this is fixed in length. This is variable. When I say variable, okay, hold on. I see some. Yeah, he's able to hear us now. Okay, fine. So this is fixed length. When I say fixed length, like yesterday, this is, for example, if I am saying character of 10. Okay, and I am trying to store Raju here. Okay, so this, if I'm determining a particular column as char of 10, it is going to actually occupy 10 characters. Okay, irrespective of what I have in this corresponding name, like Raju, this is going to get occupied. Okay, blank padding with okay, the other side. Okay, the blank padding with 6 bytes is going to happen in a char type. So which means that it is fixed length. Every time you give character of 10, all the objects here will be fixed length with 10. But in terms of varchar, it is going to save only 4 characters. In the sense, only RAJU will be saved even if I determine like varchar 2 of 10. Okay, so this is going to be more space efficient. Okay, so this is just going to have only 4 bytes saved, so we are going to save a lot of space. As this is going to say I mean what to say this is going to take a lot of space, because here generally they prefer to use varchar or varchar2. Both these are same. Okay, so there are few internal differences between varchar and varchar2, but Oracle says it's similarly, it says it's typically both the same. Okay, so ideally speaking, you can very well use varchar 2 for all your use cases, in order to make sure you have the what to say in order to make sure you have your characters determined. Okay, so one more thing which I wanted to say here was with respect to the I forgot what I was trying to say. Okay, so this is blank padded with okay. What was the highest data limit which you can save in the varchar? Okay, it is 2000. 2000 bytes or 2000 characters is what you can save. In varchar 2 you can save 4000. Okay, in this continues till 11G I believe. Okay, uh, in Oracle 19 Oracle 19 version which we are using, or 12C, from 12C I think, we can extend this, like we can there is a database property which you can change yesterday, which you can change, and then you can see it's 32767 I believe. So I'm not sure correct when close to 32K we can be saved, because we have a few columns which have determined with 32K. So to answer Harish Ram's question yesterday, so it is having a specific character limit, and then uh, in 11G or something we have till 4000 which can be saved for varchar 2, but that can be extended till 32K. All right. All right, this is primarily the difference between varchar and character, and in general, we prefer all my projects which I have worked on. We generally prefer to use varchar too. If at all you are saying, if at all we have something like currency code or something like that. Say for example, currency code in my company usually have character of 3, because all the currency codes are made with 3 characters. So generally they prefer to use this character CNY JP Y or something like that. So they prefer to have character. Okay, all right. um, to answer Rubini's question, yeah, for both Varka, the max, no, it's not the same. So that's what I was saying, 2000 and 4000. Yeah, that's right. Okay, this primarily has this is the most I think now you guys should be a little bit clear on what you have, but for now just make sure you understand the difference between care and care. But the implementation part, let's work it out once you guys get some hands-on part. No problem. Today when we are going to see, we will have some items as care and the var. Okay, so to answer Balaji's question, I don't think space and memory management is a difference between varchar and varchar 2. There is a difference in terms of the way in which it is handling. Like it is an ANSI standard, and that's that. If it all it or if it complies to ANSI standard, varchar is used, and that's the difference. I don't think Oracle tells that there is no difference in terms of performance or storage in terms of varchar and varchar 2. Right? Yeah, that's right. Yeah, to answer Srimati's question, yes, it's 2000 bytes. That's right. All right. So so let me move on. So let's say we were seeing some more. Let's see some more concepts about the what to say the queries and the select part which we were seeing yesterday. Okay. So let me just jump on. If you think you guys can able to follow me, like if you are able to type in the way I type in your queries, yeah, very well. You can open your SQL developers very well. We can type parallelly. Might be I can give you a couple of more minutes after I do, so that you guys can work it out, so that it becomes a good hands-on session for you, rather than you going back and doing the same queries. Yesterday there was a request from someone to help wait for them to complete the queries. Yeah, I will wait for some time, so that it becomes I mean, it becomes good for you doing it parallelly with me. Might be you guys can get your SQL developer connected to a local or to a cloud machine. Okay, so for the ease of easy understanding, so I'm just gonna use the same what to say the same table which I had yesterday. Okay, so let me see if I have the table. Select start from the table name will give me. Looks like there is no data in this table. Okay, let me just pull in some data. Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna put some more data. So let's see. Hold on, I'll change the resolution. Okay, does it? Uh, is this okay? Yep, thank you. Okay, so everyone, hopefully you guys are able to see my screen. I hope it's going to be good visible for you. Okay, so now let me. Okay. Okay, where were I? Okay, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna insert some more, insert some data for our easy understanding. So, okay, so let's first try to understand about. Okay, so we have three records. Okay, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna insert one more record which says customer. Okay, which says Ram as again done. Okay, so I see here, as you see here, I have got two records which is of the same. I have got a duplicate record, which means that I have a customer ID which is duplicated here. Okay, which means that the data integrity or the it's like the data integrity is not maintained, which means that there are duplicates in my table. In general, they do not prefer duplicates, which is really not good from an Oracle standpoint, as this supports the integrity part. Okay, so in order to make sure we do not have any duplicates allowed to be inserted on our table, we have a concept called constraints. Okay, when I say constraints, okay, I have something called constraints. Okay, which means that you tell to the to tell to Oracle saying that, hey, this is the primary key, which means that which means okay, go ahead, Maidin. You had a question. All right, looks okay, fine. uh all right, so let me go forward. Okay, so you have something called primary key, which tells to Oracle saying that, hey, this is the key with which the particular table is designed in such a way that it is unique across the entire table. Okay, which means that now I have something called customer ID, which I say that is unique, which means that every customer will have a single customer ID. Okay, so in order to make sure, in order to make sure this particular customer ID is told to Oracle that it's a primary key, so we need to do a we need to change them at the create table. Okay, yeah, looks like I okay, here is that. Okay, so here is the create table command. Okay, let me put it out here. Okay, so I will have to tell to the Oracle saying that, hey, this is the primary key of my particular table which I am designing. Okay, so let in order to tell that, so we'll have to say primary. Okay, we have to say that, hey, this is the primary key for my table. Okay, so there are many ways you can add primary key to the table. Okay, which means that if at all you say that you have you decide the primary key first, and then because when you're going to design a particular table, you will have to come up directly with the with the primary key concept. First itself you should know that it's a primary key for that particular table, and then only we will have to start the designing. Okay, let's try to create one more table. Okay, which means that I have created another table called customer underscore pk, which has got a primary key implementation done. Okay, let's try to see what if I insert the table record. Okay, one row gets inserted, the same row when I'm going to insert again. Okay, what did I do? Okay, I'm sorry, it is primary, it is customer underscore pk. Okay, I row insert one row, and then next row when I insert, it says that it is a constraint violation, which means that, hey, you have already a record called ram with the customer id called 12, which is already there in my table. You cannot you cannot do uh, a record which is again with the same id. So it puts out an error saying that it's a unique constraint violation. Okay, which means that it's unique, which means the primary key is unique in the table. So for example, if you say, so this makes sure that we do not insert records which is wrong in any the table. Okay, to answer Maideen's question, there's a can we have alpha character data as a primary alpha character data type as a primary key? In general, they do not prefer to have them saved as primary key. What generally they prefer a number data type to have them as a primary key. If at all you need to have some character data type as your primary key, yeah, based on the volume, because in our the projects which I have worked on, they generally do not allow a character alone as a part of the primary key, but they usually have that character data type as a combination of, like, if at all, customer id and customer name as a combination, they can create a primary key. I have seen cases there, but with respect to only the customer name, I have not used, or I have not seen anything like that. In general, they prefer to have the number as the primary key concept, I think. Yeah. All right. So select start from customer PK. You see only one record. We were not allowed to what to say, insert the next record. Okay. This is the primary key, which means that, okay. So which means that this is the unique key on your table. Okay. There can be cases where you are made to, for example, a customer salary cannot be null, which means that you cannot have a customer in a customer table, or without null, or what to say, this particular table should not hold any null values for salary. In the sense, all the records in the customer table should have a corresponding salary designated for it. So in order to do that, there is another constraint called not null constraint. Okay, let me just say, okay, so we have one more constraint called not null. When I'm saying not null, when I'm going to insert a record into this particular table, I should make sure that it's not null at all. Okay, so for example, let me just show you for okay, so okay, so I'm trying to insert something like, it says that you cannot insert. So for example, if I can insert this record, but it will violate both this record. Okay, I'm sorry, it will violate the primary key constraint, as also it will violate the null constraint also. Okay, so let's say, for example, so at any point in time we cannot have both the a null record. If I say that this particular column has is not allowed to insert any null values into the table, the violation gets happen. So these are few constraints which we have at the table level. Okay, there are few other constraints also, like check constraint. Okay, check constraint makes sure that if the salary is greater than 500, it will not insert, something like that. You can do a check constraint installation. There are many constraints which you can do when you're going to insert data. In general, when you're trying to do an ETL, or when we are trying to load a DW table or a ETL table from your source system, generally they make sure all your constraints are made sure. Okay, where you design your code in such a way that these are honored every time. Okay, so these are few examples about the constraints which I wanted to talk. Okay, so let me just move on. Any questions from anyone till this point? All right. Uh, hey guys, are you guys able to follow me first rather than questions? If you guys are able to follow me, yeah, I'll talk about foreign key also. Yeah, forgot. Okay. Go ahead, Bala. Might be you guys can unmute yourselves, no problem. I have given you guys access so that you can ask me on the over the call itself rather than typing. Oh, is it? I allowed everyone to unmute themselves. Hold on. Um, okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Try now.
Yes, now it is possible.
Hey, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Yeah. See, the
Okay.
question is that you initially created a table and then you made a different table with a primary key. So for example, if I want to make the same customer table with the customer ID as a primary key, is there any way of alter or
Yeah. You can do that. You can do that. Yeah. So, okay. So, for example, let's show that. Okay. Select star from customer. Okay, now I have four records which is already having a problem. Okay, so in general it will not allow. Okay, let's see. Okay, because there are few records in the table which is already violated that constraint. Okay, let's say alter table. Okay, table name, add constraint. Okay, so you can add primary key of custody. I think this is the right syntax. Let's see. Alter table, add constraint, prime, add constraint. I think this is the right time. Right. So add constraint of primary key space customer. Okay, I should have constraint name. I think. So let me give cust underscore pk. Okay. So this is a constraint which I am adding on top of this. Okay. So here you see, uh, as I have said, like alter table constraint cannot violate the admin cust underscore pk, which means that there is a record which is already violating this particular table. Okay, let's for now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna truncate the table. I'm saying we remove all the records from this particular table. Okay, I've truncated the table. Now if I add this particular constraint, which means that you have added that. Okay, let's see. Okay, so describe customer. Okay, so it says it's a not null constraint, which means that it is not allowing you to allow the constraint. Okay, if at all you want, for example, it's not only the customer ID is a primary, what to say, it's a unique record, but customer name is also uh, another part. So uh, okay, let's see. Okay, add constraint issue. Okay, let's say. Okay, let me just remove the constraint. Okay, so now I'm adding one more column as a part of my primary key, which means that I am having a combination of primary key. Okay, see here, when I try to create a table like this, I was able to have only one column as a part of the primary key. If at all you have multiple columns as a part of your primary key, either you can just have the table created like this way, and then once the table is created you can alter the table and have a primary key like this. Okay, this is one way. Or you can have here itself. I think this is the syntax. Okay, but generally we prefer, okay, let's say, I'm sorry, primary key of, you can have it this way also. I think it worked. Okay, so there are many ways of creating a same table with the primary key concepts. If at all you have only one column as a primary key value, you can just put it out here. Or if you have multiple columns, you can have it primary key and the combination of the columns here. Or if you have already data on the table and then you would need to add one more primary key, you can add it this way. But you should make sure there are no duplicates. If at all you are employing a primary key on top of a table which is already data and that has also duplicates, you will not be allowed to do that. Does it answer your question, uh, uh, John?
Yeah. So what you're saying is that if at all in my original table already I have a duplicate value, I have to somehow remove the duplicate value. One of the way of removing the duplicate value is truncate the all the records.
Yeah, I mean, why did I do a truncate? Is nothing but it's a command which makes sure there is no commit on top of that. So it does not write into the redo log. It's just directly deleting all the records at a shot. Okay. Del,
Okay.
okay. So truncate will make sure it does not auto commit, ideally speaking. Okay. So it will do delete, or it will do a delete and then it will do a commit. So ideally speaking, you cannot recollect back the data if you do a truncate. Okay, how many primary keys set on a one table? Okay, that's what, okay, so in order to answer your question, so primary key, it can be either a single column or it could be a list of columns for which you can have a primary key. Okay, multiple rows as a part of the primary key is, do not, I mean, I couldn't understand your question. Is that multiple columns as a part of your primary key was your question, or multiple rows as a part of the primary key? I couldn't understand your question. Yeah, okay, multiple columns. I think
Yeah,
if I
multiple
have,
columns.
yeah, okay, then I have answered your question. Okay, what's the use of truncate? Jnanavel is asking. So I think I explained it right away. Okay, will the structure remain after? Yes, yes, yes. I didn't do anything. See, for example, if I do a truncate table and then I say select star from table name, yeah, the table structure remains intact. Only the data goes off. Okay, only if I say drop table customer, the data along with the table structure goes off. Drop is a dangerous command. It's a DDL command. Okay. Okay, cool. Mannan has also got it. Okay, so now where were I? So I was talking to you guys about the constraints part. Okay, there was a question about foreign key constraint. Okay.
Raj, before you are moving, only question is that okay, in this our scenario, when you are trying to alter the table,
Mhm,
because there is a customer record, there is a record duplicate available, so that's why it
mm,
was giving error to you. So what you did
mm,
is that you truncate entire the content of the table. Now
mm,
I don't want to do that thing because doing that thing because my all my records are losing. Instead of that thing, I just want to remove only the duplicate value.
mm,
Suppose there are three duplicate, I'll remove two values and retain one as a single
mm.
value. Then I will do an alter. Is
Yep,
it
you
possible
can.
that?
Yep, yes, 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 you can do that. All that you need to is remove the duplicates from your table, and
Correct.
then you can do that. Yeah, very well, you can do that. Is it possible to create multiple primary keys? Okay, when you say multiple primary keys, it is like having a list of, for example, primary key in the sense it's like a combination, or it could be a single column which you could create, Suresh. Any difference between delete and, yeah, that's the only difference which you see, Jnanavel, like delete. If I do a delete from customer, okay, see, there are two ways of doing it. One is delete from customer, which means that it is going to remove all the records from my customer. Okay, so for example, if I say customer, okay, so one row inserted. Okay, so select star from customer will have one record ram installed there. If I say delete from customer, it is going to remove only one record. Okay, right? But if I say roll back, which means that, hey, I deleted a wrong record. If I say a roll back, I'll get back the data again. Hey, I'm sorry, where did I do? Did I insert? Okay, wait, let me insert the record and I committed. Okay, let's say I committed. Okay, now, okay, so I have the record inserted now. Now if I say delete from customer, now if I say I should not have any record, but it is there on the redo log. If I say roll back, it will still bring back my record. You getting it? What did I do? I tried to insert a record and then I committed, which means that record is now intact. But I am trying to delete the from the if I use delete command, delete from customer, what will happen here is it will remove the record, but it will not get into the file, it will be there on the redo log file. So if I can do a rollback command to revert back my changes, that's one thing which you have in delete. But if I say truncate table and then I can do rollback, nothing will happen. It is nothing, like it's like that's it, data is gone. So truncate table does not have your data preserved in any redo logs. That's the reason truncate table should be used with caution. Delete you can use, but which is performance very good. If at all you are going to delete the entire table from your from the Oracle, generally they prefer to use truncate table, as it's too easy because you don't have to preserve the data in your redo log. But delete will take a longer time for your table cleanup. Does it answer your question now? Yeah, there are multiple questions. Okay. Okay, so delete from table. Okay, so I think did I answer your question, Maideen or Jnanavel? Are you guys able to follow now? Yep, that's right. Manan got it. Okay, Jnanavel got it. Okay, so moving forward, Manan Sosas. Okay, if I add multiple columns, say primary, does it all of mean? Okay, so the combination needs to be unique, Bala. So, for example, if I have customer ID, this particular combination of columns. Say, for example, if I have, okay, let's say alter table add constraint of customer key. Okay, I have made a constraint here. Okay, so let's say RAM. Okay, so now if I insert RAM again into this table, it will say unique constraint violation. But if I here, it will get inserted, which means that the combination of this two columns should be unique. That's the only difference. I hope now you should be able to follow. Where is this? Okay. Not null, where can we use? Okay, in general, okay, any type, anything. I mean, if at all your use case demands a column should not be null in your table, you can imply the not null constraint. That's it. If at all your, or if your query, if the downstream team or your end user is going to query that particular table for that particular column, which has to be not null, or there can be business use cases, like, so that's where you can pull all this particular not null constraints. Okay, fine. All right. Okay. All right. So let me move on. All right. So now I answered Bala's question. Okay. Now let me move on to the join part. Okay, so let's try to understand few more select queries. Okay, so now how many records do we have in the table? Okay, so we have two records. Okay, I'll pull some more records into this table for now easy understanding. Okay.
கார் கீ எங்கடா பட்டு கார் கீ
Okay.
கையிலே கிடக்கா
Okay, forgot. Okay, so foreign key. Okay, so for example, okay, this is okay for easy understanding. Okay, let's think this way. This primary key on my table is customer ID. Okay, easy for the sake of easy understanding. Okay, this customer ID is my primary key in my table. Okay, this primary key. For example, you have another customer. You have another what to say, you have another table. Okay, for you, like let me show you the table structure. So like the sales table. Let me show it here so that we have something called sales table, where we are going to have a transaction ID. Okay, customer ID, amount and quantity. Okay, this is my record in the uh, this is my record in the sales table. Okay, so this particular customer, this particular sales table is going to have a primary key on a transaction ID, which means that for each transaction there will be a this transaction ID is going to be unique in my, okay, let me say 12, as RAM was 12 there. Okay, so all this particular this primary key is now 12. I'm sorry, the primary key is based on the transaction ID in the sales table. Okay, and the customer ID, okay, this is referring to a column in the customer table. right? So if you see here, it is the customer ID, which is a key here in this particular sales table, is referring, or it is referring to a customer table's primary key. This particular denotion, we say that it's foreign key denotion, okay? Or I can say this way: this particular customer table is being, it's refer this particular customer table is referring by another table as foreign key constraint. So you cannot do any changes on your customer table if at all there is a foreign key constraint implemented, because it is going to create a cascading effect. If you do some changes on this particular key called 12 in the customer table, it is going to affect a lot of table, right? So in general, that is the foreign key relationship. Okay, so you make sure this particular key called 12 is referred somewhere in another table, which for so that the customer ID is acting as a foreign key to the sales table. Okay, so what I'm trying to say here is, a primary key in one table, which is referred by some other table's key, is nothing but a foreign key. Okay, so this is this is used as a key in some other table. In general, I have not worked on projects where we have a relation directly on the table. Okay, but we can say that this particular key is referenced by another table, or this would be a foreign key to some other table. You can say that on the table DDL itself. Okay, to be honest, I am not aware of the syntax right away, but let me see, and then I'll might be I can put that on the WhatsApp. So it would be like this particular key references this, and you can have a syntax like that. I don't have a syntax right away handy with me, but that's the concept of foreign key. So this particular key is referenced by some other table as a primary foreign key. All right. Yep. Okay. Fine. All right. That's a quick.
What are the
Yeah.
cascading rules, Raju?
Like for example, you can say if at all there is no record available in the primary key, or if at all you need to delete a record from the primary key table. For example, you have a record. What to say? Cascade insert, cascade delete, or there. Okay, where is the notepad? Okay, so for example, you have a foreign key on the sales table. Okay, this is referring to the primary key on the customer table. You cannot just go and delete this customer ID from this table. Okay, which means
Yeah,
that
yes,
from
because customer table is referring this
correct. I mean,
sales primary key.
so that's the reason. So so there is an option called cascade delete on I mean child. I mean, there will be a syntax saying that you can remove the child references. There is a syntax here specifically which you can say that you can remove the child record, you can remove the parent record. Okay, I'll get the correct syntax for you people, but there are cases where you can have your references removed or not removed. We can have the cascading effect also set. Okay. All right. Okay, let me just move on with few other queries. Like, so for example, you have uh,
Hello.
hello. Yeah.
Yeah, Raju. No, no, I was having some mic issues, so just no
All right.
problem.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, no problem. All right, so select star from
Raju.
customer. Okay, we have 4 records here. Okay, there. Okay, let me and I'm moving few forward with few other queries for you guys to easily understand. Okay, so if at all I need to get some distinct records from the table. Okay, for example, I have see here I have 2 records with the same customer ID, just for an example. Okay, if I need only the distinct, or only those distinct records from the distinct customer ID. Or example, I don't want let me put it this way, though it becomes easy for you. So select custom. So if I say select star from customer, it will select all the columns in the table name. If you can specify only the column name directly, it will get me only that column here on the screen. Okay, so this customer ID has got two records which is duplicated, which means that there are two records which is or let me put it this way, it becomes easy when we use rather. So you are trying to understand how many locations are my customers coming from. Okay, so in order to easily understand, all that you need is to just to understand the locations totally. So but if I so if I see here, you have four records which is nothing but which is conveying only Madurai and Mumbai. So there is a concept called distinct, which means that it gets you the distinct records from the table for that particular column. Okay, you can specify the columns with which you would need that particular distinct. For example, if I say distinct location comma what is that, customer ID, it will make sure you have a distinct in this combination. Okay, so you can specify distinct in such a way that if you need distinct combination for location and customer ID, because we had one more record which is mother 12 Mumbai and some other name RRA something was there. Okay, so you can specify distinct to get the distinct records from a particular table. Okay, so you can either if at all you have only one column, yeah, very well you can do that. If you want multiple combinations, yep, on that particular combination you can get the distinct records done. Okay, this is about distinct. Okay, so there are few other let me put it this way itself so that it becomes easy. So I'm gonna explain something like I'm going yesterday we talked about filtering a table in a
Pratik,
table.
can you execute the above query once again? That distinct with customer ID and location. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
Hello.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Okay, so okay, so here I was explaining you like we have a four we have the four records. What was I trying to explain? Okay, so here, okay, so okay, so in order to filter a record, what did we see? Okay, when I say, hey, I really need only Ram's data to be filtered. So what did I do? I told you guys that there is a filter record where you can use, that's a where clause, where cust underscore name equal to Ram. Okay, which means that it filters out only Ram's record. That's what we saw yesterday. Okay, in order to do any filtering on the records, you would need to use where clause. Okay, is there a way I can do multiple what to say, like I think we did yesterday. So we did Ram and Tanu. That's what we did. Okay, now what if it is not on a what to say, it's not on a character based or varchar condition. Okay, so for example you can let's say okay, you are going to do a filter on the customer ID. Okay, so you are going to understand, like select the first or the customer 100 customer ID from 0 to 10. Okay, so you are going to select based on some prime some number value rather than customer name for EC. So select star from customer, where customer ID you can use in as well like this. Okay, you can use like this, or you can specify between like this. Okay, so it would select you all those records where it has got between 12 and 25, which means that as it's a number thing, you are going, you can have between, if at all there is another record like 13 is there, yeah, very well you can see that record also on your screen. Okay, let me just show. So customer ID between 12, 13 and 15. So you can see all these records which you can see between. Okay, for example, if you say I do not know the name of this guy. Okay, the full name of this people. Okay, this guy, to select your data, so you can use some regex expression, like what to say, you do not know where the exact name is, like you do not have um, You cannot give like this. You are in a condition saying that, hey, I'm not able to give condition like this for the select, but I know that he starts with RDD, RDF or something like that. So you can use a like operator, which means that it starts something like a RDD, RD, and then I do not know the rest of the things. I can just use percentage. So you will see that record. Okay, so a like operator can be used if at all you do not know the entire match. In general, they do not prefer this kind of like operation because, I mean, based on the index or based on the columns, you can do that, but this is one way of getting this if you do not know the entire value. Okay, for example, if at all percentage like also, for example, I do not know, uh, but initially it just, but there is something which has got some D inside. Okay, so percentage D, percentage means you can have any number of characters before D and any number of characters after that as well. Okay, so you can do kind of this kind of search. Okay, if at all, okay, so let me not complicate all this. Okay, let you just need to understand customer name like percentage D. Okay, for now this is more than enough. Okay, fine. What else? What other queries I for? Okay, like between. Okay, so where? Okay, let's now move on to uh, okay, so aggregation. Hey guys, any questions till this point in time? Anything which you would want me to go back again, or any questions? Shall I move forward?
Yes, Raju, you can go ahead.
All right. Okay. All right. So let's go. Let's get into aggregation. Okay. So now what aggregation is nothing but you're trying to do some computation on top of the okay. So think this way. This is just an okay. How do I use it to make it okay for now? Okay, let's use location as okay. Fine. So okay, you want to run this query, Rubini? Is it fine? Customer ID in 12 comma 25. Okay, fine. You wanted to understand if 12 and 25 are both picked up in the between clause. All right. Okay. Fine. So select start from customer. Okay. So now let's try. Okay. Yep. Thank you. Okay. So fine. I didn't take to you guys to the count measure. Okay. So if at all you want to get the count of the records in the table, all that you need to do here is select count of star from the table name. Count will give you the number of records which you have on the table. Okay, if I have, I mean, similarly you can have distinct count of star also. If at all there are any duplicates that will go off, for example. Okay, so you can do a distinct also on top of that. Okay, or you, if at all you would want to do any count based on some other what to say, for example, select count of location. Distinct count of location will give you two, like what we saw yesterday, what we saw a little moments back. Okay, so now let's try to understand about the aggregation. Okay, select sum is a aggregation. Okay, sum is an aggregation. Okay, let me just add here. Sum is an aggregation, max is an aggregation, min is an aggregation, average is an aggregation, because you're trying to group few records. Okay, so for example, you're trying to group the records and then find the sum. Okay, for example, select sum of salary from customer. It is going to sum everything together for you. I'm just saying, hey, sum all the salary irrespective of anything. You don't have to do anything, you just sum everything. So it is just doing a sum at the entire table level. But you are asked, but there can be scenarios where you might need to do at location at many different levels. Okay, so at if here the customer is very what to say, they are unique here, so I'm using this location as a part of my customer. So I'm trying to understand how, what is the salary which is received by the employees or the customers from each different location. Okay, so I am trying to group the records based on the location here. Okay, so what I'm trying to do, I am trying to understand based on location. I am going to compute the salary. Okay, okay, so now it will throw an error because it will say it's not a group by function, which means that every time you have a clause for on which your salary has to split, you have to incorporate a clause called group by. Okay, if at all you're trying to use an aggregation like sum, min, average, and then you're trying to have some column here, you would need to have them on the group by clause. Okay, so this particular call, this particular query tells you that compute the salary at each location. As you see here, I'm telling it compute the salary, which is the sum of salary from each location on the table. See here, you see here, I am trying to, okay, let me just pin this. Okay, so I have 1000, I mean Mumbai, this these three, and then Madurai computed here. Okay, so every time when you are doing an aggregation, if at all you are doing across a different dimension, make sure that particular column is added in the group by clause. Just make sure that. Okay, for example, okay, if at all you are going to have customer ID as also a part of your group by, then it will throw an error because it's not a group by expression. So I need to make sure I add it here. Okay, so I think we had two customer IDs with the same thing. I think that's the reason you have them. Okay, see here, I think we had with the 12 two records, so 12312 has got twice added here. So based on the dimension whatever you specify, the customer the sum or average or max, okay, everything will be the same here. Okay, I mean everything can be computed. Okay, I mean at least for now with the as the data is the same, you are not seeing any difference, but this can be, this is how you do your aggregation. Okay, all right, so this is about aggregation. Okay, so now okay, fine, let me have one more thing on top of this. Okay, consider your use case. Okay, use case says that select, or I will tell you the use case. Okay, get the get the places where the salary of the customers, salary of the customers is greater than 1000. Just an example. Okay, so I'm trying to tell that get the locations. Okay, get the location where the entire salary of the customers from that location. Okay, or I'll say where the total salary of the customers in that location is greater than. Okay, let me just go back again. So I'll just say I'll remove this. Okay, so for each location I have the salary computed, which is nothing but 1000 and some bigger value. The use case demands I do want only the locations where the total salary of that customers is greater than 1000, which means that I need only which record? I need only the Mumbai record, correct? So what should I do? I should do some filtering on top of this record, correct? When should the filter happen? I should do the computation first. On top of the computation, on top of the computation, I should do a filter, correct? That's the way I should do, correct? So in order to do all this computation and then what to say, filter, there is a concept called having. Having sum of salary greater than 1000. Now if I just say, you will see only that particular record. Okay, so what I'm trying to say here is, if at all you want any computation or the agree, or let me put it this way, filter on aggregation, aggregated value, you should use having filter on records directly, you should use where clause. Able to follow me, guys? What's the difference between a where clause and a, okay, I'll answer Ramesh question now, but you guys able to follow me? No one is talking now today. Is it really vague, or I'm going a little bit faster, or
No, Raju, it's good only. Like we just completely is going on very bad, right? If you practice only, you'll be able to get questions. That's why.
okay? Okay, fine. You guys able to follow me? Like, I mean, because when I say if I just say group by on the PPT, it will not be easy for you there to correct. That's why I had them on the SQL developer for you guys to explain. So, does that fine?
Ram, John.
Sorry.
Yeah, this is perfectly good. This is perfectly good. Yeah, please go ahead.
Okay, fine.
Ram, can you hear me?
Raj, go ahead, John.
Yeah. Basically, what you're saying that the filtering, we have two methods. One is using for a where clause. Other one is using by group by. Where we can
Yeah.
use whenever we directly want to filter any column value. And group by we are using is that when you are using an aggregate function like sum, min, or average, all those things. In that case, we will not be using where instead of using having.
Yes. Okay. Okay. Fine. Let me give you two examples. Okay. One is, okay. So to answer John's question, okay. So if you would, for example, this is select star from customer. Okay. If you would want to filter the records directly here, okay. If you say select all the records where the salary is greater than 500, okay. If you would want to do something like that, say for, you can do that as well. Let me show you one query. Okay, select sum of salary from customer, okay, where salary greater than 500. Okay, this will give only three. The big value is what you get, because what did I do? I filtered these two records from my view directly, first of all, number one. Okay, so now what happened? I computed the sum of salary which is greater than 500. Okay, now I am computing a having clause also. For example, I am selecting all the records where the salary is greater than 500. So for computation itself, I have only three records like this. Okay, I have only three records for my computation. So now what is going to happen? I Now when you do a sum of salary comma location where salary is greater than 500, group by location, what is this going to return me? It is going to return me Mumbai, and this big value 333 something like that. Okay, so this is the value which I'm getting. Fine. Now I am going to have one more filter on top of this, saying that after the computation, get all the records where the sum of salary is greater than, instead of this value, I'm going to have there will be no records, correct? So if I say greater than or equal to, it will fetch that particular record. If it's greater than, it is just going to fetch me now records. Able to follow me, John, now? Is it fine? So if I need to filter only those records from the array query, yeah, you will have to use a where clause. If I need to filter based on the aggregated value, I would need to use having clause.
Okay.
Just put less than 500, having some salary less than 500. So
It will not return any
No,
record,
no,
right?
less than 500 will not give anything.
Yeah, it will not give because the entire sum is totally 3639636, right?
yeah, no.
Ah,
So sum of salary, having only salary less than no, nothing will come. Okay. First of all, we filtered that already filtered where class.
correct. Okay, even if I do not filter this record here,
Yeah,
okay,
that also won't come.
that also won't come. Okay, understood?
So in having, do
Ah,
we need to aggregate or just we need to put salary? Can we put only
no,
salary?
no, it will not work. It will throw an error. Okay, it says not a group by expression because in having you should have the sum.
Raju, Harish here. For having this aggregate function, we should go by having only like some you have given, right, aggregate. So you're using having now. You should give aggregate method. Huh?
Yes, yes, that's right.
Okay.
Every time when you are, if at all you're doing filter on top of an aggregated column, you should use having. If you're going to use filter on top of the same records directly, you can use where clause.
So where class can we use after having?
No, you cannot.
After grouping, can we eliminate the rows?
That is why, okay, after grouping, if you're going to eliminate the rows only, we have this having clause, Trinath.
Raju, actually, instead of using this having, can you give some example with count instead of that sum? Use that count class here.
Okay, having, okay,
So give some example with count.
uh, okay. Uh, so you mean, okay, let me put it this way. Okay, so
You are using aggregate function right here, the sum function. So instead of having that sum function, use count function. Give some example with count function.
yeah, something like this is what you say. So I
Yes.
took all the records. Okay, so I took all the records from, I mean, I'm taking the sum of salary for each location, but I'm just saying if the count of the location is greater than one, just do I mean, I thought using sum would be more easy for people to understand. Okay, but okay, all, I mean, you guys couldn't get still having and the where clause difference, or
Oh,
Trina, are you able to follow me now, or you are still having issues?
I'm good.
All right, okay. Was it Harish?
I
Harish,
have one question, Raju. Sorry, Bala here.
go ahead, Bala.
So, irrespective of the columns or the group aggregate function we are using in the select statement, we can use pass any of the towards the having class, right? So that is what you have did here. Count of
Okay, so
location was not there in the select step. So
okay, okay.
now
No,
I'm
that's
asking,
not.
but
Yeah,
yeah,
no,
we
that's not
can
right.
pass anything.
No, that's not the way
Okay,
because this particular this particular query is going to return me only location and its summary salary. Correct? Okay. On top of that only, I'm
correct.
going to do a filter. If I say count of customer ID, it will say what did I do? Okay, having, okay, let's say having some, okay, let's say having custom, okay, is it running? Okay, having count of
Max
customer.
of you can give some customer ID. Max of also we can pass it some customer ID greater than one
Okay, so wait,
or greater than 10 or something.
how does it work?
You can
Okay,
give greater than 12,
group.
right? Because we have RAM for 12.
Yeah, but that is not going to filter your record. But Okay, having class,
Okay.
does it work based on, okay, mm, 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 mm. Okay, so we are doing an aggregation. Okay, so having sum of, or let's say having max of, okay, so okay, it does work. Okay. Having count of customer ID greater than 1, so it is going to return. Okay, having the cost of customer ID greater than 2. Wait,
This is not like count. It will be counting, right? The customer
it should,
IDs. This is not the right way, right?
yeah, that's right. I mean, I'm just checking if how the query works. That's why I added this count of customer ID.
Okay.
Okay. Hmm. All right. Okay, fine, it does work as well. Yep. Okay. All right. So in general, if at all you need, I mean, very simple. All that you need to understand is, if at all you had to put a filter on the aggregated value, yeah, very well, you can use having clause. If you need to put filter on the direct records, you can use the where clause. That's it. All right.
Hi Raju, this is Panu here. I just have a quick question.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so is there any logical reasoning behind why where cannot handle the filtering of aggregate functions and why a different functionality of having here?
Okay, that is how. I mean, that's how the SQL is defined, Bano.
Okay,
I mean, it's a way how a language is defined. It's not about us. It's how the way it's the way how it works actually. Where
okay,
and
so
having.
the
Yeah,
definition is like that we
yeah,
use where for
yeah.
normal
That's right.
things and have it. Yeah, okay, thank you.
Raju, in this lines, we are using group by and having by. Can we include where class also in this selection part?
Yeah, I did that, right? So I did that. I initially, when I answered John's question, I was having that also.
Okay, okay, fine, fine. I just missed it. Okay, thank you.
Okay. All right. Then let me move forward. Let's talk about, we talked about functionalities, aggregation. We'll talk about something called joins here. Okay, fine. Let me explain quickly. Okay, to answer Jyoti's question here, yeah, what about average? How it works? Okay, average is nothing but sum divided by the number of values. Okay, let's see. Yeah, so select. So select average of okay, so average of salary. Actually, all the records are having the same value. That's the reason you will see the same data again. Okay, so for example, I'm doing average of salary based on customer ID for easy understanding. Okay, average of salary comma customer ID from the customer table group by customer ID. Okay, there is, I mean, see here, so let's say, okay, so here
Instead of customer ID, go for the location so that
look,
every location.
location also has the same 3 records, 2 records here. So the average would be the same.
Oh.
Okay, so ideally speaking, what average does is it takes the sum of salary first, and then uh, it divides by the number of customers what we have. Okay, the customer ID here we have for 12, 2 records. Okay, so this divided by 2, the sum of 1 2 1 3 2 1 2. Okay, if I need, let me add one more customer ID. Mm, mm, mm. Where is the insert record? See here, the average is different now. Okay, see here. So what is it doing? It is doing 1 2 3. It is adding all these 3 records, number 1, and then it is dividing it by 3. That's how we do the average. So average at the customer ID level. Does that answer your question, Jyoti? So for 12 it is different, and for 13 it is different now. So this is how you do your average computation. Okay. All right. So let me move ahead with something called joins. Okay. So this is some interesting concept which I think it will, let's do it. Okay. Okay. So you have
Raju, order by
oh, I'm
is
sorry.
a can we
Okay.
use?
Yeah, yeah. I'll explain that. Might be I'll explain join and then I'll tell you order by forward. Okay. Okay. So now let me talk about joins. Okay. For example, you have something called a customer table, which is having customer ID as your primary key and all those table. Okay. You have something called sales table where you have for each customer participant. You have your okay, you have your sales table where you say that this is the sales which I made for the particular customer. Okay, so number one, 12 as ram has 12 as quantity which you bought was 5. Okay, so if I need to relate these two tables together, okay, for example, if I need to get the customer ID, customer name, and the quantity which he bought. Okay, for example, it is coming from two different tables. One is called customer table, the other one is called the sales table. Okay, so the record set which I need from each of the from the record set which I need at the end of the day here is customer ID, name, and the quantity he purchased. Okay, so I need 12 ram and 5, but the data is sitting in two different tables separately. Okay, correct. In order to bring these together, Oracle comes up with the concept of something called joins. Okay, so he says that you can join these two tables together based on a key which is common for these two tables. Okay, so you can do a join between these two tables. Okay, in order to easily understand join, might be I can just pictorially, how can I represent? Okay, let me put it this way. Okay, so all that I need here is, for example, you have a Venn diagram is a good example how we can join. Okay, for example, okay, before I tell about each of this, okay, so all that we are going to do here is join. That's what is needed. Okay, we are going to join these two tables and get the result desired output. That is what is the end goal. Okay, what type of joins are there? Okay, there are many types of join. Okay, one is called inner join. Okay, out one is called inner join, the other one is called outer join. Okay, there are many types of outer join. Okay, left outer join, right outer join, full outer join. Okay, so there are these many types of joins. Okay, at least for now this is more than enough. So we will think we'll go get into each of this joins, and then you can easily understand what does inner join does. Okay, to pictorially represent inner join, you are trying to join two different tables. Okay, these are two different tables for me. Okay, one is customer, other one is sales. Inner join would result me the common between these two. Okay, when I say common between these two, it will give the record set only if this record is common between both these, which means that when it is available in customer table as well as in the same and the sales table, only will get returned. For example, if I have 12 and 12 here, yeah, that will come out as an output. This will be the result of an outer join, sorry, inner join. For example, if I also had 13 Raju in the customer table, but he did not do any sales, so we just have 12 5 here. What would be the output result of the inner join? Would be only 12 Ram 5. You will not get this 13 Raju here. Okay, that's the output of the inner join, which is common between both the tables, which is matching between both the tables, is what you get in an inner join. Got it? You guys able to follow me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so all that I'm trying to say here is inner join would give you, let's see. All right, so inner join is going to, where is this thinking? Okay, here you go. So okay, inner join is going to give me only those records which is common between both these tables. Okay, next, that's why you see only RAM output. Okay, now let's go with something called left outer join. Okay, as the name says, this left outer, which means that on the particular join where you are going to have customer table, sales table. Okay, you have 12 Ram, 13 Raju. On the sales table, I do have only record for Ram where he bought 5 pens here. Okay, just an easy example. Okay, Raju did not buy anything, so he does not have a record here. Okay, if I do a left outer join, what will happen here is it will fetch all the records from the left table. Okay, it will take all the records from the left table like this, and then the corresponding matching records from the right table. Okay, if there are no matching records from the right table, it will put null. Okay, so ideally speaking, it will bring all the records from the left table. If there are matching records, it will try to collate them in a single row. If there are no matching records, it will automatically put them as null. Okay, so ideally speaking, the record set which you get from the left join output would be 12 Ram, 5, 13 Raju, null, which means that it says that he has done no sales. It is a null record. Okay, how do I say that? Okay, so when I was just saying left table, right table, okay, so I should tell you that how a join query should look like, correct? Then only you can correlate how a left outer join would look. Okay, so I'll just add that also. Okay, so select, what did I need? Okay, select, like for example, let's say select start from customer table. Okay, which is I'm giving an alias to it, which means that I'm saying all my reference to the customer will now use A. Okay, left outer join sales on. Okay, what is the join key which I'm going to specify? Cust id on A dot, which means that I'm giving an alias A dot cust id equal to, I'm giving a name for B, sales. For sales I'm giving a name B dot customer id. I'm saying select star from customer A, left join sales B, which means that this is my left table. Okay, first table which I have is the left, and this is called right on the customer id table. Okay, this is how a join query would look like. Okay, the same case for right outer. Okay, if at all I have right outer join. Okay, for example, I have a record for 14, but that customer is not available in the customer table. Just for a hypothetical example, I'm just telling you. Okay, okay, this is for right outer. Okay, so 12 Ram, 13 Raju. On the sales table, I have them as 14 comma 10. Okay, there is no matching entry in the customer table, but I'm just giving a hypothetical example saying that 14 is an entry in the 10 table. So if I say instead of left
Hello,
outer, if I
Raju,
make,
can you please, hello? Raju, can you please repeat once left outer join?
sure, I will do it. No problem. I want give me a minute. Let me just give you example of. I mean, I just complete this right outer, and I'll come back again to you. Okay. So what I'm trying to say is similarly the opposite case of left outer is the right outer. Okay, let me put a new slide so that it becomes easy. So on the case of right outer, to all the records from the right table will be fetched, and the other records will be given null. That's it. Okay, let me come back again to left outer. Okay, so what I'm trying to say here is outer join will make sure all the records is fetched irrespective of a join is available or not. Okay, which means that here customer table is my left table. Okay, because in my join condition that is on my left. Okay, all the records from my customer table is going to be fetched on the output. So which is nothing but 12 Ram and 13 Raju. Number one, first. This is a record set which you're going to get in the output. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay, and the corresponding matching values. Okay, see, you have 12 Ram and 12 5 is there. So the quantity which he bought will be 5. But 13 Raju did not have a matching record in the sales table, which means that it is not able to join. We do not have a matching record. But as this is a left outer join, it automatically puts null for the right record. Now, are you able to get? Is that Jyoti who was asking that?
Yeah, I get it. I
You
got
got
it.
it now? Okay.
Yeah, I
So
got it
now,
now.
okay. Similarly, the other case of right, right outer. Okay. So customer ID, comma sales, the quantity. This is what I have. Customer ID is 12 and 13, Ram and Raju. Okay, uh, I have a record for Ram, which is 5. I do have a record for some other person who has not got any input on the customer table. Okay, so right outer join output would be look like. Okay, so it will bring all the records from your right table, correct? So customer ID and the quantity, and then customer name. This would be my output for my right outer join. Okay, it will bring all the records from the right table and then it will try to match with the left table. Okay, there's another concept called full outer join, which means that it's a combination of both outer joins. That's it, simple. Right and left combination together. So ideally speaking, full outer will bring the entire records. Okay, for this particular easy example I can show you. Okay, 12 13 in the customer table, and sales table had 12 and then 5, 14, and then they had some 10. Okay, so now the full outer join would look like this: 12 13 14, 12 Ram, 5 13 Raju, null, 14 null, 10. This would be my output by my full outer join, which means that I'm bringing all the records from both the tables. Wherever they are matching, pull the same columns. If at all there are no matching columns, make it null. So this is how joins in Oracle would look like. Okay, so might be we can go ahead and we can try it out on the SQL developer. Maybe we can create a couple of tables. We can write some small queries on the joins so that it becomes good for you people. Shall I continue with that?
Uh, Full outer join and inner join will work in same way, right?
But okay, inner join will not bring. Okay, for example, if I have the same, if I'm doing a inner join here, okay, if I do inner join, for example, select star from customer table, inner join on sales, the output of your inner join would be only this, because only that is common between both this. You do not have 13 here, neither you have 14 here. So inner join will bring only records which is common between both these tables. That's why I denoted this way, like an intersection. This is the only thing which will get coming. Got it?
Yeah, got it. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Okay, cross join. Okay, that's one thing which you can do. Okay, for example, cross join. uh, okay, cross join will make sure, okay, for each, okay, so for example, it's like Cartesian product. Okay, let me, okay, for example, you have 12 RAM, 12 5 here, 14 10 here, irrespective of, okay, so it would be like multiples. Okay, 12 joins with two records. Cross join means it doesn't have any join condition, it just joins with all the records whatever you have, like this. It joins with each and every record here. That's how a cross join would look like. To answer some Ramesh question, yeah, so it's like uh, 2 cross 2 on those many columns here, m cross n, or to make it more easy, number of records in this particular table into the number of records into this particular table, those many would be the number of records which you get in the output of cross join, which means that it is trying to join both these table, and then get all the possible combinations of the records which it can frame. That's cross join. All right.
Hi Raju, this is one again. So, is there any real-time example of this cross-gen where we can use the alternative combinations of
Mhm.
any of them in your
Yeah.
everyday work?
Yes, they generally have. Okay, for in order to get some dates and all those stuffs, right? So if at all you need all the combinations of the values for a particular date or something like that, or if you want to create all the dates, for example, if in a fact table you might not have all the what to say dates available, or if let me put it this way. So எப்படி சொல்றது, okay, so on a sales table, okay, so on a sales table you might not have records coming for all the different what to say for all the dates you do not have sales அப்படின்ற மாதிரி வச்சுப்போம் எக்ஸாம்பிளுக்கு. Okay, you think that way. So there is a date dimension, okay, which has each record. So for example 2021, 03, 23, 24, for each of the date you have an entry. Okay, but your sales table does not have entry for all this. There was your shop was closed on that particular day, so you do not have any sales at all. But when you are trying to build a graph like this, okay, so on 23rd you had sales, on 24th your shop was closed, might be, as there are no records, your reporting tool would just miss that particular data. Okay, it would become 25 like this. So in order to make sure you have some dummy record captured for 24 also, might be you can do a cross join with this particular data. That's not the right use case, right? Okay, this because you do not have a record at all here to join. What else? Okay, there are that similar kind of use case, like where you cannot have a join condition but you would need that particular record, you can use that cross join to answer your question. In order to get fetch all the possible combinations for you to join, but on that particular day or date, you can use cross join. Wait, let me think of something, because
I was asking this question because in the above example which we are stating, the 12 round 12 5, if you go to the previous slide, yeah, see here, it doesn't make sense, right? 12 round 14 10, it doesn't belong to
yeah,
this
okay,
record, so why do
yeah,
that?
that's right. Yeah, that's right, because just to explain you cross join, I went this with this example, but this is not the right use case to explain you. That's right, because uh, just to explain you that the number of records which you get out of a cross join is m cross 1, I went for this example. But if at all you need to get all the possible combinations of a particular join, you prefer to go with the cross join. Just to show you that this is the output which you get as an example of a cross, is what I explained this example. Yeah, I mean, okay. Oniappan says practical example for cross join is if IPL team. I mean, like if at all you need to find the total number of matches which you can play. Yeah, within each team you do a cross join to understand how many record, how many possible combinations we can. Yep, that's one good example. Yep. All right. Let okay. Let me just move on. Okay. In the interest of time, I would just um, okay. So I'll take this to explain you the joints might be once after that. Okay. Well, before that, let me just explain one more concept of order by. Okay. So that is similar to your clause like so select star from customer. You had the records sorted here. Okay, if you'd want to sort these records by any order. Okay, so for example, if I need to sort the records output based on some salary. Okay, to understand if based on the salary you will need to sort this. Okay, order by salary will just make sure it does a ascending sorting. Okay, which means that ascending is nothing but from the minimal to the maximum is what it orders by. Okay, so you are saying select order by salary, by default it orders by ascending. If you want to say you should start with descending, you should say select start from salary, order by the descending salary, which means that it orders based on the descending order. Okay. Okay, for example, if you would want to sort based on some other column, or for example, let first it gets sorted based on salary, and the next it should based on some customer id. Okay, you can have multiple order, multiple columns in the order by also. Okay, so see here, select by salary. Okay, select by salary. So select by salary descending and customer ID descending. Okay, so which means that I have two particular what to say two columns as well as in the order by clause, and then say that this is how you will need to get this sorted. So ideally you can have n number of things also in the salary on the in the order by clause. If at all you are selecting select customer name, you can have something like this as well, order by 1, which means that use the first column for your sorting. Or let's say you can use your you can use this order by one you can very well use indication of one for your or the number for your ascending. So generally we say order by 1 comma 2 comma descending, something like that. I mean we generally prefer to use this way. So if at all you want to do a clause to order by, yeah, very well, the order by is the class. Okay, and then this should come at the end of the particular query. Okay, for example, if at all you have group by customer id after having and all those stuff like what we saw, order by. Okay, so you can specifically tell them like you, this is how you, I mean if at all there are many records for you to see, it would be easy for you. So you can specifically say that the order by should be the last clause in a particular query. Okay, after all the group by having some the filters, everything, after everything gets complete, you can have your order by class. Okay, so let's now try to understand more on the joins. Okay, so what I have a customer table. Let me create one more table called fact as um, okay. For ease of understanding, so I'm going to directly use customer ID. Okay, oh, I'm sorry. So okay, let it be. So how many, what are the records? 12. Okay. Okay, let me make it more easy for us to understand. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to remove few records from the customer table. Okay, so all that I'm gonna have is, okay, so or let me do a delete and then I'll just insert a couple of records so that okay, so I have two records on my, okay, so I have two records, and let's put the same record here. Okay, just for easy understanding, I'm gonna do this. Okay, so I'm just inserting one record for RAM. Okay, so now what do I have? Okay, so now I have select star from sales fact. It is having one record here. Okay, so let me remove this. Customer has got two records. Okay, customer has got two records. Sales fact has got one record for now. Okay, so now I'm going to do a join. Okay, so select star from customer, analyzing it as a, inner join sales fact as b, on is my condition, on a dot cust underscore id equal to b dot cust underscore id. So what am I going to do? I'm doing a join between these two tables. I'm fetching all the records. When I say star, it is going to fetch me all the records from the table. Okay, so now see here, as I did inner join, what happened? Okay, let me select what all I need from each of this particular table. Okay, so what does the customer table has? A dot cust underscore name. So if I need only those columns, so I need a dot customer name, I need a dot location, okay, and the quantity which he has bought. Okay, b dot qty. This is the three queries. This is the three items which I need. Okay, so okay, let me have the customer ID also, a dot cust underscore id. Okay, and simultaneously I'm gonna have b dot customer underscore id also. Okay, so we have matching records here between both these tables, and that is why you get only one record out of these two records in the customer table. Only one record was available for me to match this, and that's the reason I see only one record on my inner join output. Okay, that's the implication which you see from inner join. Okay, similarly, what if I make this to a left join? Okay, okay, so now I made it into a left join. Okay, which means that I had a record which is Tanu in the customer table, but I didn't have a matching record on the right table, which is my sales fact table, and that's the reason it did not pop up. So what it did do, it automatically gave an implication that it is a null, which means that this customer ID is a null record. So that is why you see null here on the left join. Okay, what if I put a record called okay 13, okay, something like this. Okay, so if I do a left join, there will be no change because all the records from the left join. Okay, similarly now I'm going to make this into a right join.
Raju, small question. What if I have an extra row in the right side table?
It doesn't come, that's
Will
what
that
you see.
it, okay? Okay, okay,
See, on the
understood.
left join you didn't see that record,
Ah,
right?
Okay, yeah, yeah.
So I just made this into a right join. So you see the record from the table which was matching. Okay, RAM was matching. Okay, there is okay, let me just show you this record also. Now select start from sales fact, will have 12 and 13. Okay, uh, and then customer is having 12 and 25. Okay, so my right joins output is going to be 12 and 13, but 13 does not have a matching record in the customer table. That's why it has put nulls here. You guys are able to follow me? Okay, what if I have now a full join, which means that full outer join?
Raju, before going forward, I just have a quick question.
Hmm, go ahead.
So, as we are, so can we just say that select is kind of a view state, like a view statement which is creating a view for us? Because if I see the first ID is getting a null value in this, so what if it is defined as a not null? Will it error?
Yep, very good question. So in order to do all this, okay, in general, so if at all you do a right join or you do a join and then the customer ID is coming as null, generally they will put a filter before you what to say where. Say for example, what was the output here? So they will put a okay, let's see. I'm sorry. Okay, so they'll say where uh, a dot cust ID. They'll have something like this. If at all you have an constraint saying that the customer ID cannot be null after the join, if there are no matching records, they will generally remove it. Or in course of ETL, okay, in the case of ETL, what we
So
generally,
we lost the right outer join, right?
yeah, we lost the right outer join, but there, okay, so in general, what will they do is they might do some more operations on this customer ID. For example, if the customer ID on the join is not available for you, they might do take data from some other data and then fetch that particular customer, something, some lookup or something they can do. I mean, just to explain you that this is how a join works. Think, don't think from a ETL perspective right away, but this is how a join works is what I'm trying to say. But from
Instead
the,
of where, can we use and another condition on
yeah, you can do something like this.
remove that where? I want to do it on a dot cust ID
Hmm.
here.
You want to have one more join condition is what you're
Yeah.
asking. Yeah, you can do that. Okay,
I
we
think
do
when
not
we
have a
use
joining.
and
We
condition on right, that the left outer, the right outer, it won't last. Instead of where is filtering after right outer join, and will do
Yeah,
on right join.
yeah, it is like adding one more condition on your what to say on your, I mean, you are having two or three different what to say, you are having two different join conditions. Okay, it's not that only the customer ID is a join clause, you're having one more join, one more column also on the join condition. That's why you specify and condition. You got it or still confusing? No, if at all after the join condition you're gonna filter, you have your where clause. Okay, if at all you have it, it is not only the customer ID which is my unique record, but I need one more column also to make it join, something like that. If you have condition like that, you can have them like this, and then you can run this table. But I do not have a matching column, that's why I'm not running this. But you can have this kind of join condition also. It's not that only one join condition is going to work. It's based on your use case where how many join our conditions we can determine. Okay. Yep. So after this full join is going to give me all the records from the tables across. Okay, so for example, it is giving me 12 which is available there, and similarly it is going to Okay, it is going to give me another matching record, which is, I mean, for example, as this is going to be having what to say, as this is gonna have both these values here, like this does not have a matching record in the sales fact table. This does not have, I mean, sorry, this does not have a matching record in the customer table. This particular record did not have a matching record in the sales fact table, and that's, but I have, as I have given full join, you got both the records printed there. That's the result. So full outer join will make sure you have all the records from each of these tables available. As I showed you on the Venn diagram, like it will bring all the records available for you. Okay, let's try like this way. You will have all the records available, but if at all there are matching records, it will bring, or else it will pull corresponding nulls. All right. Okay. Okay, for you have a, okay, you want me join applies condition. Okay, let us, okay, looks like there are questions which I have got. Join condition applies first on the tables when the war condition applies on the database. Yes, yes, that's right. Yeah, if at all you would want to do a filter on top of a column, where, say for example, if at all you are going to filter a few records and do the join, yeah, you can apply the where clause on top of the table so that you filter only those records and then apply the join. That's applicable. That's right. All right. So these are few initial things which you can do from I mean, ideally understanding the join is more than enough. Might be you can very well expand running your queries and see filtering out and then check. You guys can let me know, go forward and try this on your machines. Let me know if you guys have any questions. Might be we can have might just let me know if you have any questions. If not, if needed, we can have one more session if at all needed, or else you guys can I can send you guys your questions and their answers on the WhatsApp itself so that we can tackle there.
Ram John.
Mhm. Go ahead, John.
Yeah. Is there any possibility to get kind of a worksheet or something, Ram? Because I know that you explained the theory, whatever the possible way. Until and otherwise, we are not putting our hands on work it out, especially on these joints and all. I don't think it'll be getting on the hand.
Yeah, that's right. So what I would say here is, might be you guys can I'll send you this sheet itself, this particular SQL itself, John. So might be you can use this, or uh, because this has all the records whichever I have inserted. Just make to make things more simple, first easy, try to understand from a simple queries what, try to insert by yourself and then try to run your joins and see and work it out. When you say worksheet, would you prefer to have all the queries, or you would want some questions from me to like what to say, like kind of assignment is what you need, or how do you prefer?
So probably I'll put it in this way, Rams. So for example, if at all, suppose a question asking is to create maybe a sales table and a customer table, and try to fetch probably kind of a condition, we need to get a results like this. You got it. So we have to apply some joins or some particular work condition or having or group by. These are the techniques what we learned to apply that thing to get that particular result. I hope you got it what I'm saying.
Yeah, I got it. Okay, fine. Okay, let me check, John, if there is anything which I can give you. But for now, in the meantime, with this SQL, this particular notepad would help you to kick off, right?
Yeah, this is almost we did it while you are teaching Rams. We were actually typing and we are doing that thing. Yeah, so this is a starting point. I do agree. I'm just looking for a little more support to understand the concept and really cementing it.
Okay, got it. Let me think through and then I'll get back to you, John. What I mean, I'll just think through and let me talk with Vasit so that we can streamline this process very well.
Raju, Trinath here.
Go ahead, Trinath.
Can you explain subselect and correlated subqueries? Is that possible, or?
Okay, we can do that, but I would say on the first day, explaining correlated subquery will drive people wrong. Rinath, might be okay, let me explain you subqueries only. Okay, the correlated subquery is too high for everyone on the first day itself, Rinath. Okay, so okay, so for example, I have two different tables. Okay, so let's start from,
And
because
unions also.
okay, so select start from
Unions.
unions. Okay, okay. Okay, fine. Select start from customer, select start from sales fact. Okay, these are the two different tables. Okay, instead of join condition. Okay, so for example, you can specifically, okay, all that I need is um, okay, where, okay, so I need to get the what to say, I need to get the quantity from the sales fact table. One way is joining these tables. The other way is easy to write a query within another query. Okay, so for example, select star from customer, or select customer name from the customer table, where the customer, select all the customers. So the use case is this way. Okay, select the customer names from the customer table. Okay, for all the records available in sales fact table. So I need to fetch the names from, I need to fetch the record, what is the name from for this particular customer ID 12 from the customer table. Okay, one way is to join, which we saw easier. Okay, select customer name from the customer table, where customer ID in, I can have one more select statement here. Okay, select customer ID from sales fact table. So this is called nest subqueries. Okay, so which means that I am trying to have an in clause and another query. Okay, yes, this morning we saw customer ID in 12 and 25 is what we saw. Okay, this is one way. If at all you do not know what this 12, you can write a query to substitute that. Okay, this is called subqueries. Okay, for example, if you would want to uh, get the max salary term. Okay, max salary people. Okay, select customer name from the customer table, where select the maximum max of salary, my customer ID equal to, select the customer ID. Okay, let me not more complex it. This will go into sub correlated subquery. Okay, for now, you guys try to understand the subqueries. That is more than enough, is what I think, Trinad, because as you guys are moving into the what to say, into the uh, big data, think at least for now subqueries is more than enough for you people to understand. Yeah, does it answer your
Raj,
question,
one
guys?
small question. Hello,
Yeah, go ahead.
hello, Raju. Bala
Go
here.
ahead.
Raju,
Go
think
ahead.
this. See, yeah, we have see this subquery output is literally equal to the inner join. Okay, because we are just getting whatever matching is there. Which one is the effective way of whether joins or subqueries
In
would be a
general,
effective way?
so if in general, it's preferable to use joins, Bala, because if at all the way you the considering here we didn't have volume much. Okay, but think this way,
Mm-hmm.
you have because if at all you are going to work on a per day volume of 150 million, all those stuffs, you cannot just do an in clause. Okay, in will have a few limitations in terms of the number of records which it get passed. So there are quite a few limitations which I would say, and it's better to use the join condition if at all everywhere it's possible. But there are cases where if you need to fetch only 2 records or 3 records which you would need to know, then very well you can use the in clause. Yep. It depends on the use
Oh,
case, I would say.
yeah, okay, fine. But when it goes for a huge volume of data, joins works better
Yeah,
in terms
John's.
of performance.
Yep, that's right.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Or so I mean, ideally speaking, if your queries are more optimized, everything will work in Oracle. Okay, so if at all you are going to hit the right column with the right way of access path, ideally everything will work. That's the way Oracle is designed. But considering all the volume, you will have to come up with the decision, like if at all you're going with the in clause or if it is a joint condition. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. So any quick, okay, so that's assignment is also okay.
Raju, this is Trinath. This is a question on data warehousing.
Mhm.
What is the difference between data warehouse and OLAP process?
Data, okay. So OLAP, data warehouse is an OLAP. For example, online analytical processing is what, so for example, you are doing some what to say, whatever operations you do on top of your data warehouse is an OLAP processing is what I would say. Because you are not going to go with the single query to get only one record from data warehouse or for your analytics. You are going to fetch close to 2 years or 3 years worth of data for analytics to be done for your data science process or for your model to build. You're going to query a lot of data. So in order to, that is what is called online analytical processing. Going to the warehouse, fetching lots and lots of data for analytical processing.
Yeah, but the data warehouse is
It's a part of your
extract, transform, and load. That's finish the data warehouse, right?
uh, uh, any
From there,
operations on top
whatever
of
we are
the,
doing, that is OLAP process.
exactly yeah, that is more simple. Yeah.
Raju,
Query.
one quick question on that subquery part which you explained.
Mhm. Go ahead.
So, can you go to that place once? Actually, in this part, we have two select conditions, right? Which one will execute first?
Come again. Okay.
Actually, we have two selects right here. Which select part will execute first, and then based on that data, the next select will work, right?
Yes, that's right. So the inner query executes first, and then it will bring the particular record available for this. But so this query gets executed.
Okay, so based on that customer ID from the sales
The
table,
filter will
it will
happen.
go and
Yeah.
match in the
Yeah.
customer table, right?
Yes.
Okay, fine. Thanks, Raju.
Raj, John, am I audible?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Raj, can you just give me a little idea about the concept of index and how to use and what to use?
No, no, what index? What I didn't. I missed you.
Yeah, indexing.
Okay, index. Okay, you're asking something. Okay, fine. We can. Okay, so okay, fine. Index. Okay, actually, it's like more of not a basic session. It's getting more deeper, I would say. Okay, fine. No problem. So every time, very to be more easy, I would say. Okay. Think of a book, John. Okay. How do you go? For example, it's like more towards an index page. What you have in a book, I would say. Okay. So wait, let me. Okay. So this think from I mean I don't want to get into the concept first. Let me just tell you how things work. Okay. So I understand that first, so that is more enough. Okay. So index page on your book will tell you that, hey, this the content what you see here is available on this 15th page. That's what you see. Okay. So what will you do if at all you are going to understand the concept of some storybook? You have to go into the second part of it, or second part or third part or something, like first you will go to the index. You will see on which page that particular story starts from, and then you will directly move to this 15th page and you will start your reading. Okay, that is how in general an index works. Similar concept is what we have in your database also. Okay, your data is sitting somewhere on your file. As I told you on the first day, it is sitting somewhere on the file, as logically they call it a segment and blocks. Okay, in segment and blocks is what they say. Okay, so what we do here is Oracle comes up with the concept of index, which means that it creates a kind of index page like this, saying that, hey, the columns or the data from this particular portion to this particular portion is sitting on this address. It will come up with an small kind of index maintain some in the physical location. That actually index is also occupying a physical location. It occupies that. Every query when you run through this will go hit the index first. It will see where this particular data is residing in. It finds the address and then it goes to and then queries and gets the data. Okay, so every time when you're going to access a particular table, you should also make sure you access through the index. Okay, what if I create, okay, where and how the index should get created? Okay, an index should get created on a column which has got high cardinality. When I say high cardinality, records are are split much. For example, if a customer table, let's say customer table as an example. Okay, if you create high cardinality on the customer ID, which means that every customer will have a different unique ID created, correct? Okay, but you have something called gender, which is male and female. Either it can be one male or female, which is a low cardinality because the number of values which it can have is very less. Okay, so ideally you create something on a high cardinality column like customer ID. You can have a range index. Okay, there are many types of index which I don't want to go, so something like range index. Okay, between customer ID 1 and customer ID 10, it will have an index created or a value vechukko aduve. So it automatically creates an index page based on this range. And then when the record or when the query comes like, hey, select all the customer select customer ID equal to 9 அப்படின்னு ஒரு query is coming. So it will just go first scan the index. It will first try to understand, hey, this is the index range which I need to find. It gets the address and then it goes back to the database file and then it gets it. Okay, in order to make sure you access the table sooner, we need to make sure we have index created. Okay, generally when you create a primary key on a table, a primary key will automatically create an index for it, which means that if you hit with the primary key, it is automatically going to go with the index. It's going to be very fast. The data retrieval is going to be very fast. Okay, what if I am not querying the table with index? Sorry, yeah, I'm creating a index based on customer ID, but I am querying based on customer name. Okay, customer name, because the index is based on customer ID, but I'm querying based on customer name. What is going to happen? It is because index is not going to solve your use case here. What it will do, it will scan the entire table to get your record. So they call it as full table scan, FTS. Okay, it has to scan through the entire table to get your record. Considering the volume which we handle in the organization, if at all there is a full table scan running, DBS will come to you and say that, hey, there is a full table scan which is running here. So make sure your queries are optimized. So does that answer your question, John?
Thank you so much. Only one doubt is that you told that index is also again kind of a physical kind of a
Yeah.
Yeah, a list or something. It will before doing a full table scan, it will tell you that where to go and give the address.
Yes.
Now I have created a table with 1,000 records. I have a corresponding. I also created an index, so it's a physical relation established. Now I have added the 500 more records. That time, each time when I do an insert, this index will be also recreated.
Index will get updated. So index, yeah, index will get updated.
Okay.
So so every time when you are doing your inserts, so it automatically makes sure the index is getting updated. Yep. You don't have to worry about it. Oracle internally takes care of the architecture.
Okay. Thanks, Raj.
And Raju, this is Jyoti.
Go
Hello.
ahead, Jyoti. Go ahead, Jyoti.
Actually, in starting we discussed about decimal. End of the session, you are going to explain it.
Okay. So you want okay, let me you
First,
want an
try it.
example.
Actually, I'm getting an issue all the time. I'm getting an error.
Is it okay? Okay, might be. We can work offline. Might be. Let's see if everyone. Maybe so. It's already 10:15. I'll just wait for you, Jyoti. But let's see if everyone has questions, or else let them drop off and then we will continue.
Raju, me too have a question with regarding to decimal. Actually, I thought of asking you post the session. And
Okay,
also, I
go.
just have one query. It's simple. Yesterday, on the first day, I think we were discussing about the snowflake schemas, right? Does it
Uh-huh.
have any relationship with the snowflake database, or is for the just pictorial representation you have given that particular picture over
Okay,
there?
it's just the name. It has nothing to do with the Snowflake database.
Okay, got it. Okay, yeah. Then I have taken that decimal thing.
Yeah, go ahead. What was
Means
the problem?
I'll
Let
ping you.
me see. Okay, let me. Okay, if that is the case, let me put it this
Actually,
way.
yeah,
Let
yeah.
me show everyone. Let's see. Even let me also try to understand. Okay, let
I'll
me.
ping you the complete error. No, I'll ping you the complete error. I've taken that one. Okay, I'll ping you. Can you get it here?
Okay, right.
Is
Okay,
same for you?
let me. Go ahead. You have an error. Might be you can. You want to ping or
Yeah,
you want
yeah,
to share?
yeah.
Sure. Go ahead.
Uh, I'll ping you. But one second. I've taken that one. Just a moment. Maybe they keep it.
Is it saying that the precision is not available? I mean, it says that you're not able to insert that record into the table, something like that. Okay, let me.
Yep.
Where is this chat?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
It,
let's.
it is. It is. It's towards the precision only.
Okay. Where have you pinged me on Slack?
No, 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 no. I have not yet pinged you. I said I'll ping you one second.
All right. Okay. Okay. For example, let
Okay,
me say
that's in the full
customer
screen mode.
underscore decimal. Okay. So.
I'll give you a snot snippet. What I did is I created with 2 comma 1. Okay. Then I have
Mm-hmm,
altered
mm-hmm,
it to 3 comma 3. Okay. I've just altered the decimal
okay.
precision to 3 comma 3 to get more decimal only.
Three comma
Then
three
I
comma
truncated
3.
3 comma 3. Yeah. Then
Okay.
I just given the commission value to 1.155. That's it. Or 0.155
Uh,
also it is not taking.
yeah, it will not take, right? So see, think this way. So what I was telling, precision of 2 comma 1. Okay, which means that
3, 3 comma
okay,
3
2
also
comma
I've
1.
given.
Okay, let's put it this
Okay.
way. So wait, hold on a minute. I'm just getting a call. 1 minute, guys.
Yeah, yeah. Please.
Okay, so decimal of 3 comma 3 is what you did, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so this is what you have. Okay, so decision precision of 3. Okay, insert into. Okay, now comes. Okay, 3 is the total number of records. Okay, so which means that 3 is the total value which it can hold, like this. Okay,
Okay.
so it could be, for example, let me put it 0 for easy for now first understanding. Okay,
Mm, mm. Okay.
okay, let's now okay, let me okay, to 3 is 3 is 3 is the
Mm,
total value which it can hold. Okay,
mm, mm,
1012. Okay, now if I say, it will throw an error.
mm,
Oh,
mm.
it's still in. Oh, wait, let's see.
Yeah.
it gets inserted.
Certain times
Okay.
it takes and yeah, certain times it takes and certain times it's not taking. Can you go for one more value also? Can you go for two? Yeah.
Okay.
Earlier, actually, thing is, I tried it twice. It worked twice, and when I again deleted and then I tried it, it is not working for me. It was a bit fishy for me.
Hmm.
But you will just
See
get
here.
the value of three representations. Yeah.
Correct. That's right. So as I said, it can represent only 3 decimal places. Okay. Okay. Let me put it this
Three
way. Okay.
decimal
So
places.
let's not have. Now it will throw an error. Correct.
Yes,
See
this
here.
is how it comes.
This
Yeah.
this is
Yeah.
correct because what I'm trying to say here is
Mm.
you can use
Mm.
3 places. I'm sorry. Wait. Let me. I think it is working right only. Okay. So see here. I am telling it use
Mm.
3 places for the entire value. Okay. Let's
Okay.
not worry about 0 here. Okay, so I have 1 2 3. 3 is my usual notation.
Mm.
Okay, so I see only 3, but
Okay.
when I give 1.123, okay, say this will also throw error
Mm.
because
Mhm.
it is 4 characters here.
Okay.
See,
Okay.
1 2 3 4. The total
Okay.
total number you have here is 4 digits. 1 2 3 4. 0 was not
Yes, right.
considered. That's the reason.
Mm. Mm. Can you
Okay,
remove the
so
three and give one
it will
point
do an
since
insert.
it's
Let's see.
not okay.
We can do that. Yep, this is what you need.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why is it not getting installed? Okay, let's see.
Yep.
Oh. mm, mm, mm.
But we tried all the combinations and I was facing issue. That's why
Actually, I
lot
think
of
that
asking.
dot also considered as a byte here, I guess.
I don't. Okay, how?
Can
Okay,
you insert?
let's
Yeah,
do it
remove
this
the
way.
insert dot. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Even that also doesn't work. Okay.
Yep.
Let me. Okay, let me check. Then. Okay, I'll check then and get back to you, man.
Sure. 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 Thank you so
I
much.
was under the because it. Because, okay, let's. Okay. Mm, 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 mm. Okay,
Hello.
I'll check this and I'll come back to you.
Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah, I think after dot you told like that it will be three values. So if you give one value, mean it will throw error. You can give 4 values, but it will accept 3 values only.
No, it doesn't work either.
Sure. Doesn't work right.
Okay. Might be
It
I'll
works.
check that for you.
Thank you, Roger. Thank you so much.
Sure. Okay. Weird. Okay. All right.
Yes, can you try 1.0?
What was it?
No, 1.0 instead of 1.1.
It will all throw error.
Yeah. I mean, looks like something is different from the
Just
way
one.
I think. One will work.
I think the issue is here defining the
Yeah.
decimal as 3, 3 because we are saying that precision is 3 and after the
Okay.
decimal thing is clearly showing.
Let's see. Let's
Now
try
it will
this.
work.
Let's try this way.
I think the scale should be less than precision.
Raju, this is Keerthi here. Hello.
Yeah. Go ahead, Kitty.
Raju, I think in that case, decimal of 3, 3, which means the precision is also 3 and the decimal value is also 3, right?
Which means that I can have the entire value 3. After
Yeah.
decimal, I can have 3 points.
So in that case, the whole number part will not be considered, right?
Yeah. That could be the case. Okay, let's let me
Precision
put it
won't
this way.
be considered.
Okay, 5,
If it is
3. Let's put it this way. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, this might work.
This will work. Okay, so let's.
Because the whole you mean the precision is also 3 and the decimal value is also 3. So
Okay.
in this condition, the whole number part cannot be considered by this decimal class, right?
Yep, that's right. Okay, so see here, this works now. So for example, I made 5,3. So ideally speaking, I can have 3 decimals after the denotion, and then okay, this should throw error. Okay, very good. This should throw error. This should
Raju,
work.
in this place, you gave 5,3, right? So
Yeah.
for that, we got first result as 4 digits only.
Because I told preserve only 3 decimals.
Okay.
Okay, so see here, now it works. Okay, so see here, now the understanding is 5 digits totally. Out
Okay.
of this, you can have 3 decimal places. Okay, if I have 1.212, it will just filter to 1.21, this one. Okay, but
Okay.
if I say like this, which means that 4 plus 3, 7 values are there, which is greater than the precision, it will throw an error. But if I have like this, okay, so 3 plus 2, 5. Still okay. It works. So totally 5.
If I give
If I have
even one more
insert a
value
zero
also,
beforehand?
yeah.
if I have one more value
Yes,
also, it is
now,
throwing an error because it
Can
is
you
again.
insert a zero
yeah. Now,
beforehand?
Raju,
okay.
just try after 1, 2, 1, 2, right? Instead of the last 2, can you just try whether the value is 8 or 9 and try fitting the results?
1 2 1 2.
Instead of 1 2 1 2, have it as 1 2 1 9.
1 2 1. You want to check if it is
1 2
rounding off?
1 9. Yeah, I just want to check whether it is rounding off.
It will round off actually.
It rounds off.
Okay. See, my understanding is that, Raju. So let's. I mean, at least let me interpret what I understood. Maybe I think if people can understand, I think that would be better.